So I'm driving a rented sports car through the Swiss Alps right now, which I'm well aware is the most midlife crisis sentence I've ever uttered on this channel. We're at the famous James Bond hotel right now from the movie Goldfinger. But these roads coming up here are just absolutely crazy. There will be like a sheer kilometer drop on one side, big rock wall on the other. It's just very, very unforgiving. And by like the fourth hairpin turn, I noticed that I had gotten very quiet in my mind. You know, this sense of hyper awareness where you have to pay very close attention to everything that's happening. And it's kind of funny because it took a road actively trying to kill me to accomplish what no meditation app could in a year. So flashback to a week ago. I'm sitting at an infinity pool overlooking the Mediterranean Sea in Mallorca with my girl. And the book that I brought to this wonderful vacation, because apparently I hate myself, is Simulacra and Simulation by Jean Baudrillard from 1981. French philosopher, widely considered unreadable. I mean, I also wanted to look obnoxious at the pool with my prop, but aside from that, I mean, look, I'm a reasonably smart person, right? I read a lot, but I was grinding through that fucking book. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy even talking about? Like, this shit is incomprehensible. I'm actually having to like decipher it sentence by sentence. And I read some to my girl and she's like, dude, this is like sociopath shit. And then she says, is this guy actually smart? Or is he just like doing this for clout and trying to look cool? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you're saying he's like the Jake Paul of philosophy? And it's kind of funny because actually that dumb little joke is in some ways the whole book. Can you tell the real thing from a flawless fake of it? That concept that you can't tell what's real anymore, that's sort of the exact thing I've been circling on this channel for over a year. So I knew at some point I had to read that book, right? And I also knew that I'd never do it at home, you know, because between filming and the business and just life in general, I wouldn't end up doing it. Which is how you end up packing the hardest book of the fucking past century for your beach vacation, okay? And I went into that book looking to wrap my head around the concept of hyper-reality, right, and simulation, these things that I've been talking about on this channel a lot. But it kind of surprised me with something else. Because philosophically, if you watch this channel a lot, you know Camus my guy, Camus my boy, right? Has been since I was 15, since the night the SWAT team kicked the front door in during dinner and my whole family detonated. And somewhere in that free fall that followed that, you know, catastrophic incident, I found the essay, The Myth of Sisyphus by Camus. And that essay is, no joke, the reason I'm still here. The universe is absurd. It owes you nothing. You push the rock anyway. You survive. That's the message. You know, the last sentence of that essay, the struggle is enough to fill a man's heart. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. That sentence got me through losing everything. Twice. It happened many years later as well. There were years where the only thing that I owned was the struggle. Everything that I've built in my life sits on that one foundation. And this Baudrillard fellow, he walks up to that foundation with a fucking sledgehammer to like break it down. Because Camus' whole framework requires one specific ingredient: a real universe. A real man standing in front of a real silent cosmos, demanding meaning and getting nothing back. That silence is the opponent. That's the fight. And the fight is where the dignity lives. And Baudrillard goes, yeah, the real is gone. There is no fucking real anymore. You don't live in a silent universe anymore. You live in a feed. And the feed is never silent, is it? The feed answers you constantly. It agrees with you, it argues with you, it recommends you a next video to watch. You cannot revolt against it because it eats revolt. Your rebellion in the process becomes content. Your rage becomes engagement. Camus, he got to scream at the fucking void. You scream into an algorithm and it goes, yes, great, yes, more of that. More of this, please, and it serves it to 100 other guys. And look, the fucked up part is you already know this, right? Everybody knows. Your 12-year-old fucking cousin knows the feed is rotting his brain. It's a meme now. Knowing is free now. And all that knowing has changed fuck all. It has changed nothing about how you actually live. Because, look, I know how your nights go. We all do. Look at last night. Be honest. Most likely, 1 a.m., you had the lights off, the phone 6 inches from your face. You watched a guy in a gym somewhere tell you to be disciplined. You watch some girl that you'll never meet shake her boobies at you, and then watch somebody get knocked the fuck out in a McDonald's parking lot. You close the app, and then you reach back and open it again inside of 4 seconds on pure reflex, not even knowing why, like your thumb is possessed. Again, that's demonic shit. Demonic shit. That's not a life, it's fucking ghost mode, dude. You are a ghost haunting a glowing rectangle. Boot camp is the polar opposite of that. And it's the most real thing I know how to give you. What is boot camp? Boot camp is when you come out and you train for 3 days in real venues with real people in real time with me and my team of assistants standing next to you and pushing you while your body remembers what an actual moment feels like. Like imagine going out to a club or being at a party with your head as quiet as mine is on these roads right now. Imagine the conversation just arriving. No rehearsal. Why? Because you're already in it. That same aliveness, it shows up at work, it shows up in negotiations, it shows up in every place where somebody's deciding whether to trust you. Why? Because it's one body and it only broadcasts one signal. Click the link in the description, book a strategy call with my guy James. Tell him exactly where you're at, and he's gonna tell you straight up whether it's a good fit for you to come on one of these programs, legitimately. Book the call, or close this video and go back to the fucking scroll, which is what you've chosen every night for fucking years now, okay? So it's your call, all right? Back to the depressing Frenchman. For about a day and a half, I'd say, the book won, right? Like, the shit fucked me up. I was fucked up. I'm sitting there in this serene White Lotus-style resort, having a legit philosophical crisis, right? 0 stars, do not recommend. Because if the real is gone, then the fight is gone. And if the fight is gone, then what the fuck have I been standing on for 30 years? And I finally finished it. And the last chapter is titled On Nihilism, and it is some of the most bleak shit I've ever read. Dude spends the entire chapter like closing the exits. Every single thing that's supposed to save you, he kills it. Your revolt, the system eats it. Even terrorism, the most extreme thing a person can do to force the world to mean something again, he shows you the system swallowing that too. Turns it into footage. It turns it into a fucking meme. So here I am lying in this infinity pool, not in it, near it, with a glass of champagne in my hand, watching a guy calmly brick up every exit. Brick up.
Phrasing?
But like, watching this guy shut down every exit the species has ever used to bring meaning out of the universe and make it real. And I'm looking at this fucking book, and I'm like, okay, how much is left? And there's just literally half a page left. And so I'm thinking, okay, I guess this is it. This is where it ends, on nothing. And then in the last 4 lines, like after 200 pages of him calmly executing every source of hope a human being has, here's how he chooses to end the book, verbatim. There is no more hope for meaning, and without a doubt, this is a good thing. Meaning is mortal. Appearances, they are immortal, invulnerable to the nihilism of meaning or of non-meaning itself. This is where seduction begins. And I had to read that over a few times because it's the most important paragraph of the book, and it's kind of built to slide right past you if you're not paying attention. So here's what he's actually doing there. For Baudrillard, there are 2 things in play. There's meaning, aka depth, reason, right? Science, psychology, critique, etc. All of it running on one assumption, that there's a rational explanation that for everything under the surface level, and your job is to rip that off and find the truth underneath. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, there's appearances, which isn't fakeness. In fact, it's the opposite. The surface itself, the way a thing shows up, the charge in a room, the vibe in an interaction, how things look and feel with nothing hidden underneath waiting to be decoded. And the book overall is the story of 2 demolitions with a 3rd one finishing the job, okay? Demolition 1, the Enlightenment and the Romantics tore down appearances. Right? They took the enchanted surface, the magic, right? The world that meant something just by existing, and stripped it down to like dead matter to install meaning in its place, depth and truth. Demolition 2, the next wave, was the surrealists, right? Dadaism, the absurdists. They turned around and tore down meaning itself, right? They blew up the idea that there's any truth underneath at all. And then the 3rd thing, the one that we're currently living in, simulation. And in simulation, meaning doesn't even get destroyed anymore. It just gets realized into this like dead hum, a corpse that keeps running. So let me make that third one more concrete here, because again, it's the most abstract one. It's kind of the hardest to wrap your head around. The first two were murders. Something died, and you could like point at the dead body. This one is not a murder. It's a replacement, a simulation. The system does not bother killing meaning anymore. What does it do now? Now it just makes a flawless copy and runs the copy forever. Everything still looks like it means something. In fact, more than ever. It appears that way. There's these endless takes and facts and information, except it's all just copies of copies of copies with no original at the bottom. That's the feed, okay? That's your whole fucking life. Nietzsche said what? God is dead. Baudrillard says, no. God doesn't die. He got turned into a brand. A hyper-real version that runs just fine without ever needing to actually exist. And the copy works so well, nobody even notices the original's gone. Meaning does not get murdered now. It gets like taxidermied and propped back up at its fucking desk with the lights on, still posting. And you can't even fight it, or even mourn it for that matter, because nobody can tell it's been dead for years. It's like weekended gods. So, try to follow here. Follow the bodies. Meaning murdered appearances. Then meaning got murdered. Then meaning got embalmed by the machine. Meaning is mortal, he says, right? Dead 3 times over, and good fucking riddance. But appearances, the thing that got taken down first 300 years ago in the Enlightenment, right? Written off as a corpse before any of us were born, that turned out to be immortal. The first victim is the one that cannot be killed. Why? Well, because appearances were never in the meaning game to begin with. Nihilism, the whole panic, no more truth, nothing matters, the void, all that, that's just meaning crying at its own funeral. And the surface was never at that funeral. Why? It was never in that game, period. So the death of meaning, you can't touch it. It can't harm it at all. And he says it ice cold. It's invulnerable to the nihilism of meaning or of non-meaning. The surface survives having meaning, and it survives losing it. While the entire culture is at the graveside crying over the real, appearances are just standing off to the side, completely fucking unfazed, still playing. And the name of that game, the play of pure surface that never needed 1 ounce of meaning to be the strongest force in the room, is seduction. Not the pickup shit, okay? The oldest game there is. And when the depth game dies, the surface game does not die with it. It reopens. The death of meaning is not a void. It's the precise moment that seduction gets the floor back. Seduction, okay? That's the last word in the entire book. And when I finished it, I had to set it down and stare into the ocean for a while and drink some more champagne. Leave it to a Frenchman to end the apocalypse with foreplay, all right? And look, you know where I'm taking this, okay? Because it's the whole channel. The meaning layer, the mortal one. What is that? It's your resume of a self. It's your value proposition. It's the credentials, the whole logical case you keep building for why somebody would want you. All of that shit's already dead. It just hasn't fallen over yet. The seduction layer, on the other hand, the surface, the immortal one, that's the charge, the vibe, the presence, the eye contact. It's the thing that happens between you and her in a moment that doesn't mean anything and doesn't fucking need to. The darkest philosopher of the 20th century spent a whole book burying reality and then pointed at the one door still standing. And what's the word on that door? Well, it's the literal name of the thing that you came to this fucking channel trying to learn. Presence over persona, straight up. A dead French madman co-signed that back in 1981. And when I realized that, when I kind of put that together, that's when, boom, Camus snapped back into focus. Because the book didn't kill Camus, it didn't refute Camus. It killed the bumper sticker version of Camus. The one that everybody runs. I mean, shit, I ran it myself for years. Life has no meaning, so make your own. Cool, sounds great. It's a fucking dorm room poster for stoners. And Camus would have fucking hated that, quite frankly, because he had a name for that exact move. Philosophical suicide. Inventing a replacement consolation and like sneaking it in through the side door. So again, Camus was never selling a new meaning. His actual answer was living without appeal. Total lucidity in front of the silence, right? Zero consolation. And then the sheer intensity of the lived moment. So Sisyphus is not happy because he found purpose in the rock somehow. There's no fucking purpose in the rock. He's happy because he is completely, lucidly present to his own fate, 10,000%. Like, read his early essays sometime. Like the Algerian stuff, right? It's all sun and sea and the body and the immediate moment. Like the dude was Mediterranean to the core. So, his answer the entire time was presence. We buried it under the slogan because the slogan sells better, right? So ultimately, what do we got here? We got two Frenchmen, 40 years apart, one riding in the light and the sun, and the other riding in like the darkness and like the morgue, pointing at the same fucking spot. The feed can absorb anything. It eats irony for breakfast. It eats your awareness, your fucking hot takes, your rebellion, your carefully curated authenticity. But there is exactly one thing that it cannot ingest. It cannot fucking metabolize, and that's a human being who's actually here. And you felt this in the field, whether you had words for it, you were able to articulate it or not. Like walk into any bar on a Saturday night. Every chode in there is running some bullshit fucking character, rehearsing shit they got off the same feed at girls who watched the same feed. It's a costume party where everybody showed up as like a screenshot. And the nervous system across from you in the other person you're talking to, that's a lie detector that never turns off. Performance reads as, this person wants something from me. Detachment reads as, this person isn't actually here. Somewhere else, sending out a decoy. But presence, like real, unguarded, in-the-moment presence, that reads as this person is alive. And aliveness is the most attractive thing a human being can broadcast. And unfortunately, you cannot fake that. Confidence you can fake. Status, you can fucking rent for a weekend. Alive is the one thing that people feel before you even open your mouth. So she's not choosing between you and better looking guys, dude. Okay? She's choosing between screenshots and the one guy who showed up in person. Presence is what's left when you stop needing a meaning. You don't climb up to it, you fall into it. And when you fall into it the second you quit reaching. It was never made out of meaning. And that's the entire reason it's still standing in a world where meaning has died. It's not the answer to the question, it's what's still there breathing when you finally put the question down. Which brings me back to this road that I've been driving all day. Look, this mountain has been here for 30 million years, and it has no fucking message for you. It doesn't know you're here, it didn't dress up for the camera today, it can't be filtered, it doesn't want your engagement, it is just massively, overwhelmingly real. And it's the most beautiful thing that I've seen in years. This mountain doesn't give a shit about you. It doesn't care about you at all. And I couldn't stop looking at it. I drove out here to make a video about a book. This mountain made the argument before I even turned the fucking camera on. My head, driving up here, has been quiet for like an hour and a half now. Not because I found the meaning of life on a beach in Mallorca, because somewhere around the fourth hairpin turn with a cliff on the other side, I stopped looking for one. Camus probably would have loved driving this road.